Hello and welcome to my channel XRP Coin News. It's a recurrent topic of conversation. I suppose it's just a simple approach to imagine winning this round, but there will be no price fixing or asset repurchasing to artificially inflate prices in this game. In the end, this is what determines which networks are the most valuable, useful, and practical. On the whole, this is not going to be a situation in which quick success is possible. The government would likely take care of this themselves if tokens could be purchased or their worth determined. They would mint the coin, determine its value, and then we could end this discussion. Decentralization is key, as is the use of invulnerable assets that cannot be altered. Also, the government would be buying up XRP to artificially inflate its value. The opposite is true. It's an indisputable resource that the state cannot stifle. The SEC has tested XRP, and the data shows that it consistently ranks among the top 10 cryptocurrencies by daily volume. We must keep in mind that one of XRP's greatest features is that it is inherently resistant to tampering by centralized authorities. Thinking about a future that you have to go out and build is a bit more exhausting. However, it is not through backroom bargains, handshakes, or agreements that we will get value. Scams have been exposed as bad, and now we know why. He's not entirely off base when he believes Ripple is fighting a losing battle, but he does think it's 50/50. A lawyer who has been following the case attentively says. Naturally, he's summing up attorney Jeremy's forecasts. It's true that he just released them the other day. To reiterate, the video suggests they have a 50/50 shot at a clean victory. And then there's this whole other set of scenarios, some of which include the sexier type of winning and therefore awarding them money, but all of which have very slim chances of actually happening. And then there was no more XRP and Ripples had been destroyed and all that other nonsense that isn't going to happen. Therefore, the odds of Ripple winning are substantially greater than 50%. Right now, we're able to fire from a strong position. There is nothing inherently wrong with what they are attempting to do to make payments faster and cheaper. But rest assured that we are on the right side of law and history. The challenge is, how can we accomplish this within the law? We, the SEC, and the government do not see this as a situation where we need to take action to prevent something from happening. To what extent will cryptocurrency initiatives be controlled in the future is the question we are currently trying to answer. Here is what Bill, the attorney, has to say. In this context, he is referring to the library's precedents. Many people witnessed library completely and utterly lose and be crushed. This is a terrible loss for society. Yet, we shall observe the way this develops. It hasn't been resolved yet. They're still talking about what comes next. But here's hoping that the library token gets to stay in use and help create something truly remarkable on that blockchain. There is no need for alarm, but the point is that Ripple is doomed regardless of the situation because of library loss, or what he calls the library precedent fallacy. It's worth repeating that these cases are being heard by a separate court and include novel facts and legal contentions being presented by different attorneys. Once again, Ripple is assaulting every aspect of our testing procedure when the library was only concerned with one. There are many factors at play, and it would be oversimplification to just assert that library closures cause rippling effects. Just seeing how this could go down should serve to make you more prepared. It's left up to one judge, who could make any arbitrary decision they please. And since they don't want to provide you with unintended loopholes and the like, they often err on the side of regulators and their perspective on things. For Ripple, I anticipate a very different outcome. Ripple also has the resources to respond to these calls for action and advance the cause. To that end, I anticipate a very different trajectory from what we saw with the library. Do not assume that the SEC resounding win there portends the same outcome in this country. The risks, however, are not to be taken lightly. That really ought to wake people up. The library's coin currency served many purposes. Because of the network's decentralized nature, it was of no consequence. If you see something and wonder why Ripple settled or agreed to a certain thing, keep that in mind. Why? Because of the high level of danger and the unknowns involved for both parties. Plus, you have no idea how things will develop down the road. We'll have to wait and see how things pan out. But this is why they aim to reduce danger. It could, but it could also not. In any case, it seems to be what Ripple is thinking, despite the fact that they are clearly the stronger party in this court battle. to assume they obtained. This is a satisfactory conclusion. They'll probably take it. The only question is whether or not Gary Gensler is interested in playing. Now, in another article, Attorney Bill reportedly discusses how, outside the U.S., people don't argue about which currencies, securities, and commodities are legal tender. The picture is becoming more distinct. One crucial fact to keep in mind is that the United States' clout stems in large part from its financial markets. So, when the United States has such a commanding lead in terms of capital inflow, it's not just because the country is so excellent, it's also because of the many other countries and investors throughout the world. U.S. officials would rather not cause trouble for those looking to park their money here. The United States is just trying to protect its capital markets, while the world's 15 largest ones will try to entice investors to move their money into their country. That enormous advantage we now enjoy. So there's a lot more for us to deal with. It's much more complicated than you'll get in other territories. But I don't think that's an excuse for the way regulators have approached this. This misconception about banks and payments is at the heart of the problem with our financial system. A large part of our influence comes from the size and depth of our capital markets, which encourage investors from all over the world to put their money here. To be alerted immediately whenever a video is published on XRP News, please remember to hit the subscribe and notify buttons. You may see our other XRP history videos. In the meantime, you may catch us in the video below. See you out later. Bye.